Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at HBAR. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss any videos, and leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. Also in the description, you can find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Once you're in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff and we'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Okay, so let's get into it. So we're talking about a couple of options in the last video, and for the most part, none of them have really invalidated yet. We do seem to be coiling up here at the moment within this little bit of a range. So it'll be interesting to see whether this actually breaks to the upside or to the downside, because there is a potential we can count this both ways around. So if we're looking for the bullish count, we could potentially be looking at this as a fourth wave triangle looking to push to the upside. And what we'd be looking for that would be effectively something like this. And what we'd be doing, so the reason I'm not too keen on this count is how deep we came down with this fourth wave. So this fourth wave actually touched this wave one, but it didn't cross it. So technically it's not a rule violation. So what I'd be looking out for here is the possibility that we could actually extend up here to the upside as a fifth wave. Still looking for the same area that we talked about, this 1128 to this 1039 zone as a potential target area. But until we actually break to the upside and stop forming this triangle here, potentially we can also argue this could be the other way around. So if we were looking at this as a fourth wave triangle, what we'd be looking at this doing is basically looking at this as like this as an A, B, C. So we can argue here that either C is here, we get a D and an E, or actually C was here, this was D, and actually this was E, which broke the trend line of the triangle. So if this is the E wave, what we'd want to see is actually 5-wave structure to develop to the upside here, and we wouldn't want to cross back below this zone. So if we cross below this again, this 0842, it becomes less likely that this is the case. And in fact, actually, even if we do move this along like this, if we do move down past that zone, if we move these down, this D, E, and C, effectively the invalidation would still be the crossing down of this 0842. If we move back down below that 0842, that would invalidate this as a C wave of a triangle, and then actually we would actually lose all the structure here. So the other way we need to just be careful of this is that if we were looking at this as an A wave and this was a B wave triangle, we would adjust how we count this slightly. So this can work either way. So we need to see how this reacts. We could technically argue we could have something like this where we're actually forming the E wave to the upside. Or alternatively, this could even move along like with the other option, and basically we could be within that C wave just the other way around, and then we could actually look to break to the downside. So this will be a key area to sort of see. Effectively, the difference with this is instead of actually breaking through this top section here and actually moving up and developing 5-wave structure, what we'd be looking for within this case would actually be that we just form 3-wave moves and continue to remain range bound within this triangle. There is quite a good chance that this is actually completed the other way around, just because of the way that this move has reacted here. It's actually broken through this trend line if we have it just to the bodies like this. So there is good potential that this could actually be a we'd have to subdivide it here as basically A, B, and C, and then potentially this could be looking to start its move to the upside. So if we hold this 0842, what I would be looking to do is actually starting to form a 5-wave structure here to the upside, where potentially we start to see something like this play out. We could see this retrace a bit deeper here and potentially come back towards let's get the zone for that, back down towards this area of this 50%, which would be this 0869. So we could actually see that would bring us back to these bottoms here, and then lower down would be this 786. 618 is at 863. So these are all sort of areas we could actually look to move into. Alternatively, we could be looking at this as some kind of a diagonal to start here, yeah, like where this becomes a 1 and then we come to a 2, or this could be a 1 2, then we get another 1 2 here, and then this starts to move to the upside. Though we need to just be aware that for as long as we actually stay below this 0987, we could actually be on looking for an additional move to the downside here. So that's why I'm looking at this triangle potentially in two ways. If we don't want to count it as a triangle, we can also count this the other way around, like this as an A, B, and a C, or a WX and a Y. And then that could still be just a connector wave, and actually we look to break down. So really, until we actually take this high point here again, we need to just be a little bit cautious, because even though I'm counting it as an ABC to the downside, this move here, we can also potentially say this is 1 2 3 4 and a 5. So we need to just be a little bit careful with it. This could then retrace to the upside and find a rejection towards the zone of... So we sort of run that sweet spot. We've already tested out this golden pocket area. If it does move up higher, we've come up to the 702. If it does move up higher, the 786 and this 854, 904 and 909 could be potential areas for a turnaround. But yeah, once we start breaking through this 854, it becomes more likely that we're actually going to continue the trend up here. Though really, until we actually take the high, we need to just be aware that we could still see an additional leg to the downside. So this is something we just need to keep an eye on. If we do manage to hold this triangle and we don't invalidate by either crossing back above this, well, if we were looking at the triangle, we'd say it's potentially completed. So crossing this B wave high is not important anymore. But effectively, we wouldn't want to cross below this point really, again, if we're looking for this bullish potential, which would be this 8242. Then we'd be looking for additional fourth and fifth. If we do complete this 5-wave move in here, what we'd want to see is an additional fourth wave coming into this zone, settling down in this area here. And if I just throw the fib on here to get an idea, depending on exactly how high it moves here, but we could see it come back into this zone here, which would be the 0382 at 899 to this 0854. So this is something that can still play out, so we need to just give it a bit of space. Okay. Let's talk about, we also talked about the potential of having a bigger extension here, and for the most part, this doesn't really look like it's playing out like we had anticipated. So I'm going to get rid of the upward move here. This is still possible, and the way we would have to look at it though, it would be more likely if this is playing out that actually the triangle is the other way around, or we're still going to see a move to the downside. And then that would just be looking for this move to actually form this as an A, this is a B, and then actually look to push down for that C wave to the downside. So if we did argue that we continue to cross here, our target zone could be potentially the lower range of this would be that 786, which would be that 0733. So a break to the downside, that would be a zone of 121. If I do it to the current level from up here, 121 would be slightly higher at the 742 zone. So we need to keep an eye on it. The 786 of that wave would also be here at this 618. So you know there is still some possibilities we could see higher support there. If however we do take this low of this 0676, effectively then we would invalidate this potential structure here, and we would have to argue that potentially this was a corrective move at that point to the upside, and they're actually looking to break to the downside. So talking about that, looking at that option, what we would be looking for effectively is this move potentially completing into here, and we'd have to count this as a 1 2 3 4 and a 5. It's not my favorite count looking at it like this, but it is still possible that we could still be completed into this high, and the way we'd be looking for this move then would actually be that we could be starting to see, sorry, I've got this mixed up. So basically this move would be looking at actually completing earlier on. This would be looking at completing up into this high, and effectively what we could then argue is that we actually have a B wave here. So this could be an A, this could all just be a B wave to the upside, and then we could actually be looking to start to break down for ideally it would be a 5-wave move here if this is actually playing out as we have it marked up here. And what we'd be looking for is, if we were looking for this as the potential the potential play here to the downside, we'd have to then argue that potentially our 2 is actually over here. But then we wouldn't want to cross back above this 0922. And what we could then argue is that actually what we're starting to form here is 5-wave structure to the downside, where we form this as a 1, 2, and then we're going to get that 3, 4, and a 5 to the downside. Though really confirmation would only come by moving much down much lower here towards the 0640 zone. And what we'd be looking for would be effectively a move like this to start to break down and move past this 0776 area initially to confirm a 5-wave structure. The thing is, we can see that like this wouldn't actually bring us down to this target. So what we would then be on the lookout for is whether we'd actually come back up for a 3-wave move here and then look for rejection again into some of these levels that we have here, and then actually look for that continuation to the downside afterwards. For as long as we hold these key areas that we talked about with those bullish potentials, you know, this low point here of this 0842, and then alternatively if we do move down lower, this 0622, you know, we can still look for that bullish potential to the upside. Though we need to just be aware that if BTC and ETH complete their moves, it would be likely to see a retracement amongst all the coins. So we just need to be a little bit wary of that. And yeah, if you haven't checked out those videos, check them out for more information about what I'm talking about with that. But yeah, so basically this is looking for that possibility of actually coming back down here for this B wave, and then potentially to look to push up for a C wave. We also need to be a little bit careful because we were talking about the fact, the problem is we were looking at this potentially as a flat correction in here, but now the structure within this is not great for a 5-wave move, unless we say that the 5-wave move is extended out here, which is basically what we're looking at within this option. If we look at this as a 5-wave move, we can sort of throw this 4th wave here as well. So if we do actually get this as a bigger 5-wave structure here, you know, and we do complete these additional 4ths and 5ths, then we can argue that actually what we've had is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and that could be a C wave, looking at this as an A, a B, and a C. The problem I have with this count is it is quite large, and it would probably make a bit more sense if this was just an A wave, a B, and then we get a C up, and then we look for a rejection. But until we actually break this low, we need to be cautious on the retracement. So from this was our support zone, but this will obviously change as we move to the upside. And okay, it's currently correct off of this current high here. This would be this 0593 to this 0443 zone. So this would be a zone we could find that support in and then look to progress to the upside. Though, like I said, you know, if we start to fail these areas and lose these low points, we would have to argue that we've completed into here, and that actually we're looking for this retracement to the downside. This is our last sort of defense for a bullish cause here. As soon as we sort of lose this 0356 zone, then all sort of impulsive structure falls apart, and then we'd have to look at this as a flat correction, and then potentially looking for an additional push down here towards this 0279 to this 0189 area. So that's just something we need to be aware of, and I think I do have that. Where is the option? Yeah, looking at this potentially as a 4th wave here, and then looking for that drop to the downside. So there's all these things that we still need to take into account. You know, this single 5-wave move here, at the moment it's not even a clear 5-wave move, so we need to just be careful. These corrective structures and rallies during bear markets often just break down and end up taking out these lows, so we'll have to just see how it plays out. But yeah, this would be our key support area if we're looking for that continuation to the upside, and this is completed into this high. But like I said, until we actually start to lose some of these key support areas we have here, you know, we can still look for either this bullish option, or alternatively this one, where we actually look to come back into the support zone here as an ABC pattern. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this, see how it plays out, but we'll try to keep you up to date with the news as we see the waves forming. Okay, gonna leave it there. Hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below in the comment section, and also in the description below you'll find links to Discord. Come check it out, it is free to join. Once in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff and we'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. In the description below you'll also find affiliate links to BYBIT and PrimeXBT, both great exchanges that we use when we do our trading. They are deposit bonuses, so if you click through the links below and go to the websites, you will be able to find the information on there regarding those. Using the affiliate links does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.